Paulie should retire. Paulie should retire. Oh my gosh, here we go again. Another top fighter gets in a rough fight and he should retire. In this instance, the thing that I think that Paulie should do is sit back, make those thousands, or hundreds of thousands, or whatever he makes commentating, and enjoy the ride. But last night, he was just in the ring with a better fighter, someone who had more attributes when it comes down to the things that can define a fight, like power, timing, tenacity, and for lack of a better word, Paulie said it himself, character. Danny Garcia lacks absolutely nothing. I hear people talking about Danny Garcia once he fights another top fighter, a Keith Thurman, a Sean Porter, he'll be annihilated. Well, from what I've seen, every single person that has stood in front of him, he's annihilated them. To the dismay of a couple of questionable fights, but I was at the Danny Garcia Lamont Peterson fight, and trust me, when you're there live, you understand the unique quality that Danny Garcia possesses, and it's called them things. Those things, for better terminology, are the dynamite that you're born with. You can't teach what he has. It's like he swings with a 25-pound metal mallet whenever he throws a punch. The fact that he's gotten it under control to the point that he can actually box, throw a nice jab, and yeah, it gets carried away every once in a while. He throws one of those things, but it's almost like a call of duty. It's like a whistle. Whenever a fighter is in the ring with him, he lets him know, we're not the same. I have an equalizer, let's say. And that equalizes that power. So even if he doesn't hit the guy, it's still a punch in that fighter's mind. And that's why whenever he throws off that haymaker, it doesn't matter if he hits him or misses the other guy. If someone shoots a bullet by your head, whenever you feel that bullet whistle by your head, you're kind of out of sorts. And that's what Danny Garcia does better than any fighter right now that I've seen, because I saw how it affected Lamont Peterson. Lamont Peterson came out in the fight, and you can go out and you can look at it on YouTube. Just type in Garcia versus Peterson. Whenever those two guys got in the ring, Lamont Peterson from DC, we were with one of his stablemates, which is a cousin of mine, watching the fight right there in the Barclays Center in April. He was fussing and yelling and screaming at his boy Lamont Peterson, but at the same time, he wasn't hearing those punches whistle by his head. Lamont Peterson didn't throw punches early in the fight because Danny Garcia discouraged him by throwing those bombs that told him, if one of these hits you, you're gonna be out of sorts and on Quiz Street, baby. And that's why he throws them. So, like I said, the fact that people are calling for Paulie Malignaggi's head to retire we understand it, but I have to play devil's advocate. Paulie Malignaggi can sit back on the sidelines just like Antonio Tarver did, Roy Jones, and cherry pick. In a year, Al Heyman's going to toss another bone at him. That's what makes it so beautiful. He works for Showtime. And whoever he chooses, because these guys aren't under a brick contract, he can go and do stuff for other channels. The thing about it is, Paulie is sitting good, but you cannot change the mindset and the mentality of a fighter. Why do you think he was in the ring with Danny Garcia? Why do you think he was in the ring with Showtime, Sean Porter? Because he's a fighter from Brooklyn. He's from the street, and that's what's in his blood. You can't discourage a guy from being who he is. Is anyone discouraging you from making $15 an hour or $10 an hour every day? Absolutely not. So what can discourage this guy from making $1 million a fight or $2 million a fight, plus his check that he gets from Showtime and CBS Sports? So he has to pick his fights the way he wants to pick his fights, because damn it, that's his life. That's who he is. He can do what he want to do. To call for a guy's head because he had a fight against a fighter who's undefeated and who's beaten every man that has stood in front of him is absolutely crazy. You call retirement when the guy just does not have what it takes to win a fight. He's just been in there with two vicious fighters, two of the best fighters in this era. Shane Mosley still fighting. He's about to fight Ricardo Mayorga again. That fight makes sense. So stop looking at, oh, he lost, he don't need to be. I'm going back and forth on Twitter this morning with several people who just chimed in on why he should retire, or should he retire, fight doctor. Oh, this is the thing, people. When you have a fighter, and I've had many, you allow the fighter. See, boxing does not, disallows two things. It disallows you to choose when you quit, and it disallows you to ever be fulfilled. Now, as rich as Floyd has gotten, he's still not fulfilled. That's why he's fighting another fight, and considering the 50th. It does not allow these things, and that's why boxing is the pinnacle when it comes down to ultimate combat sports. Even UFC, MMA, consistently tag team and tag their name, piggybacking off of boxing now that we've got the mainstream audience and the mainstream eye again. And this was supposed to be the buzz, but all I see MMA, UFC is a tournament. It's just like a exhibition match. You can get a basketball player against a football player against a rugby player, and they all go at it. But it's, well respected, and it takes a lot of conditioning and skill set to do it. Don't get me twisted, it's a hell of a tournament. Boxing is boxing. Boxing is football. Boxing is basketball. Boxing is soccer. Boxing is American baseball. Boxing is here to stay, and now we got the mainstream back, and Paulie's in the front seat. He can do whatever he damn it wants to do. That's a hell of a life. And we out here in social media consistently are in his face asking him to do it. And then you got those who say retire. But when you're sitting at home on the couch and you're bored, when you get 25,000 hits a day, when that hit go down to 10, then 5, then hundreds, then tens, that energy, you need that energy to keep you going. You need that energy to give you that algorithm of a fighter. And that's what Paulie Malignaggi is. Don't get it twisted. He's not an accountant, and he's not about to retire his books until he chooses. It was a hell of a fight. They call me the fight doctor, and I thank you guys for watching. And right now you're watching Master Boxing. And this is where we break the fight world down. And we break it down on a constant basis, week after week, round by round. Shout outs to my boys over at Brooklyn Fights. We're about to take the game over to the next level for the sport of boxing, because it's in our heart to do. Stay tuned for the post Daniel Jacobs Sergio Moro breakdown, and that was a good fight. It's gonna be hella controversy. So let's get it popping with Master Boxing. Brooklyn Fights signing out. Peace.